right, so as you know, the Cheerful basket is my class for this month. This is the one that I lost the die out of. Yeah, I've looked. It's not in here. I've dumped this out I don't know how many times. It's definitely not in here. So there should be 3 basket dies. Okay, I'm missing the big one. So hopefully we'll find it. We don't know. All right, so I'm also going to talk a little bit about the kit. So the Cheerful basket is a bundle, so it's a stamp set and then the full basket dies. So you can add the bundle onto your class if you want. I am going to be using watercolor pencils and our color lifter in this class, and you can also add those on if you want. Watercolor pencils, blending them with the color lifter is amazing. And I just have all of my pencils stuck in a little cup here. I don't know if I'm going to use that tonight or not. I can't remember. Then you also will get a full package of the Regals Designer Series paper. You'll get a half, there's 2 rolls of ribbon in this collection. The Old Olive Sahara Sand, you're going to get a half of a roll, half of each roll. And then the Garden Green Real Red out of the holiday catalog, you're going to get a half of each of those rolls. And then a half a pack of the adhesive backed pearls. So that's what's going to come in your kit. You can add the bundle on if you so desire. I believe the links are in the description of this video. All of my classes to go come with envelopes. So what I have here is a 4 1/4 by 8 1/2 piece of Garden Green. I have a 4 by 4 piece of the Garden Green Designer Series paper, and I'm going to be using the plaid side. Then I can't remember what this is. Let's get the rule. Oh, 2 3/4 by 3 3/4 is this layer of white. And then this goes underneath that. So this is 2 7/8 by 3 7/8. So we'll have a nice little layer to go under. I have already tied my ribbon around a bottle. So I'll show you how to do that in case you don't know. So I just take a bottle, a Stamp and Mist bottle works really well. And I just wrap the ribbon around the bottle and then I tie it into a knot. And I have kind of mastered this so that I can make a pretty knot. So anyways, there would be your knot. You'd slide it off the bottle and then you would cut it. Okay. Then you'll have a loop. Then you would cut the loop where you want it to be on your card. And I've already got that done. So here it is. So we'll just set that off to the side. I just don't know exactly where I want it on my layer yet. So that's done. Okay, then we also have a layer for the inside. This is also a 4 by 4 piece of white. And I've already stamped the little apples on there. And I am going to put this little strip of Designer Series paper at the bottom here. And I think I'm going to have the polka dots show rather than the plaid. Just for something a little bit different. And so when you purchase my class kits, you get all the pre-cut cardstock pieces. And then you get some Designer Series paper and some, embellishments, ribbons, whatever. And then you will cut your own Designer Series papers. But this one's pretty simple. It's a 4 by 4. Okay, so if I had a basket die, I would be able to cut out this is just a boring shape. I shouldn't say boring because it does match the stamp in the set. So if you were to stamp this basket, then the die that I lost would cut that out and it would look like this. Okay. So this is just the die cut. And actually it's not really a die cut because I literally just traced around this piece and cut this out. Then I cut this other basket piece out, which is this guy here. Okay. And then this last die gives you 3 strips. Okay. So we have 3 strips there. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a woven basket. So I'm going to start with this piece here and the longest of the 3. And we're going to just weave this in and out of those little slots that's created by the die. Then the second largest one, we're going to start from the bottom and come up. And we're going to weave that through also. Go on, you. There we go. And get that in there where we want it to go. And then finally the bottom piece, we'll do the same thing we did with the top. And we will start at the top. Or start at the top and go under. so that the first one matches the third one. And then we've created a little kind of woven looking basket. And I don't think you really necessarily have to glue these down. I kind of feel like they'll just stay where you put them, because we're going to end up gluing this to this guy anyway. Okay, so just kind of push them up as high as they go. Push the bottom one down as low as it will go. And then I feel like if you just go ahead and add your glue to the back, that's going to kind of keep them in place anyway. Okay. And then you're going to add this to this other one, and it just fits on there really nicely. It fits on, I think, even better if you actually did die cut it rather than trim it out with your scissors. But we're just going to have to wing it. There we go. Smash that down. Okay, so then we have this little kind of woven basket, super cute. I have another one here that I did yesterday before I lost my die, so now I have two. Fun, fun, fun. Okay, so that's what's gonna be a decorative piece right here. So we're gonna go ahead and stamp our image, our sentiment on here first, and we're gonna use real red, and then the sentiment that does come in the set. This says, "You fill my day with happiness." So we've got that on. Then we're going to add our basket. Let me add my basket with some dimensionals here. All right, and we will set this right here-ish. There we go. I've already done some more die cutting. The set does come with this little kind of picnic basket, I guess like a napkin. You see the detail. So this is sweet sorbet, which I thought kind of complemented the real red pretty good. So it does give all the detail. Looks just like a handmade napkin, I guess. So I'm going to go ahead and add this to the front of the basket. We'll just add a little bit of glue, and I'm going to center it, I think. You could put it off to the side. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm going to center it, I think. Okay. I also die cut a little basket handle. This is out of Early Espresso, and we might need our skinny little, bottle of glue here that I just squirted glue out all over. Boy, since I cleaned that out, the glue is coming out pretty good. Okay, I'm going to hold that, and then I'm going to just squirt a little bit of glue. And the reason I got this glue bottle instead of one with a plastic tip, I guess, is I just really like this little metal tip. I feel like it's a good thing to get the glue out. And so I do have these little bottles linked below. I think either that or they're in my little crafty favorites, which there's a link to that too. So now we have our little basket handle on there. So cute. And then I have a bunch of apples here that I cut out. You get 2 apple dies in the set, so you can cut 2 at a time. And then we have a little die that will cut 4 of these little leaves at the same time. Looks like, oh no, I was gonna say I'm missing one. I found it. And then another little die that will cut 2 of these little like apple tops, the little leaf and the stem at the same time. So I'm going to go ahead and just try adding these apples to the card in kind of a random-ish fashion. So I am going to put one down here at the bottom of the basket, you know, like one fell out. So we'll stick that one on. I'm going to rub that glue off my fingers. And then I'm just going to kind of throw some apples into the basket. Then we're going to add these little leafy pieces. So we're going to bring our little glue in here, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of glue on that little stem. And then we'll just add it to the apple. Oh my gosh, are those not the cutest little things you've ever seen? Finally, we'll add this little guy, and I realize that takes a tiny bit of work, but you know, it's not too bad. We are going to decide where we want to put our basket on this layer so we can figure out where we want to put the ribbon. So I'm going to center the basket layer onto the designer series paper. I'm going to push that up just a little bit. And so this is about where I want my ribbon to go. So I am just going to hold on to the knot, and then I'm going to do what I always do and wrap it around to the back. So, boy, who would have thought wrapping it around to the back was going to be the hardest part of this card? Okay, and then we're going to try to, like, you know, make it so it's even over there, and then we'll wrap or add the tape there. And now we can add our glue. So we'll go ahead and put our seal all the way around. So you get that part done. Then to glue this on, you want to be careful because you want to make sure it fits in your envelope. So here's your envelope. So just lay your card, you know, on there like you would. And then you're going to have to put your basket on so that it doesn't go over, you know, so it doesn't go past that spot. So, and I also don't want any glue up here because that's not going to, there's nothing behind that. So I basically want glue from here down. So I'm just going to do this. Okay. And again, hold on to the card. And we're just going to push it down until we are sure that we are not going to go outside of the envelope, because you don't want to have it taller than the envelope, otherwise it won't fit in there. Okay, so then we're going to bring it back out, make sure it's nice and straight. It appears to be, so yay. All right, so then on the inside, you can see that I stamped some apples here. So I'm going to take these watercolor pencils, and I am looking for 3 colors. I have found that if I do a combination of 3 colors, that works pretty well. And the colors that I'm going to use are Real Red, Cherry Cobbler, and Melon Mambo. They're all marked with their names and a number, so it's easy to figure it out. And the reason I'm doing this is because this Real Red is kind of an orangey red. So it's not like real red. So I don't know, you know, what the deal is with that, but it's fine because we can just wing it and we can just add these other colors and it'll look more reddish than it does here. So we're just going to scribble that. Oh, you know what? I need a piece of cardstock. This is just a random piece because I have texture on my work surface, and the texture kind of shows through. So then I'm going to take the Cherry Cobbler, and I demonstrated this type of watercoloring technique last night in our catalog kickoff group, and it's just such an amazing way to color. You know, we have blends, and blends are awesome. But, you know, sometimes maybe you want to try something different. So this is something different for you. So I'm just using all 3 of these colors, the red, the Melon Mambo, and the Cherry Cobbler. And then I'm going to use my color lifter to kind of blend it all together. So here's my color lifter. And we will just kind of push the color around with the color lifter. And I probably should have done this before I stuck that piece of designer series paper on, but you know, it's Barb, so I'm sure none of you were surprised. And so this just kind of really softens the watercolor pencils and just gives it an interesting look, I feel like. And then you just kind of scribble it off a little bit. And then we are going to use not Coastal Cabana. I think there's like here's a garden green. So we'll use the garden green on the leaves. We'll just throw a little bit of garden green on here. And then we'll blend that. And then we are just about done. We can, I don't know what we can stamp on the envelope. We'll find something. You can do, oh, I know what you can do. You can do some designer series paper on the envelope flap. That's always a good thing to do. Get that out of here. And we'll just add some adhesive to this layer. And then we'll add it to the bottom of the card on the inside. And there we go. Let me grab a piece of paper. We have 2 of every pattern in the package, so that's why I included the entire package. Normally I don't, but I just wanted to make sure that we had enough to use on the cards and then to use on our envelopes. And so I'm going to cut this to 2.5 by 6, and then that's going to go on our envelope flap. So when I do my envelope flaps, I take my liquid glue and I try to get the glue close to the edges, but not so thick of a bead of glue that it's going to squish out all over. So you can see that I'm scribbling, you know, a fair amount of glue, but the bead that I'm using is very, very thin. So we will get that on. Okay, and then you just need to take your scissors and trim the excess off. There are some gems in here, and I think these little gold ones would look cute on here. So they're really shiny, which is really fun. So we'll just give our, ooh, look at that. We could stick it on that apple. So cute, you guys. I have had so much fun with this bundle while I had my die. Yesterday I made all the cards. I have to shoot the videos for them, so they're not completely done, but I know what they all are going to be, and they're all super cute. Just as cute as this one, honestly. So if you're interested in the class, the link is in the description of the video.